KHOU 11 News at noon starts now.
Hello, I'm Sherman Chow. A surprise hearing on the January 6 riot begins now, which CBS will carry on air. Our newscast continues on our digital platforms. And we begin with breaking this morning. A Harris County judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking enforcement of an old Texas abortion ban. This ban predates Roe v. Wade and is now back in play after the Supreme Court overturned the landmark abortion case. Our Adam Bennett is live in the Harris County Courthouse to explain it all. And Adam, this now means that some abortions can continue in the state of Texas or in Harris County?
That's right, Sherman. So this is concerning the state's heartbeat law, or we're talking about rather those abortions under the state's heartbeat law, and that covers abortions usually up to about the 6-week mark or so. This whole case stems from an advisory that Attorney General Ken Paxton put out Friday saying that abortion providers could be held criminally liable starting immediately based on a pre-Roe abortion ban. The providers who filed the lawsuit said that that law, which dates back to 1925, was taken off the books decades ago. They say that an appeals court upheld that view too. But state attorneys argued that they believe it still applies because the legislature never voted to explicitly remove it. But today, Judge Christine Weems had a lot of questions about that position. She questioned the state attorneys a lot and ultimately granted that temporary restraining order. Afterwards, we talked to lawyers for the providers about what this all means for abortions in Texas. Here's what they had to say.
Under the TRO, the defendants, which include state agencies, state officials, and district attorneys, are not allowed to enforce the pre-Roe ban. So that means that abortion providers, if they choose to, could begin providing abortions again up to 6 weeks.
That the Texas trigger law is not in effect just yet. That ban won't happen until 30 days after the U.S. Supreme Court issues its judgment in the Dobbs case. After the hearing today, state attorneys for the AG's office, they did not want to comment. Looking ahead, the next hearing in this case will be July 12th, and so I'm told that the TRO will remain in effect. The temporary restraining order will be in place until a decision is made following that hearing. So, in other words, this should be the way things are for at least the next couple of weeks, according to the county attorney. Sherman.
All right, Adam, thank you. And Harris County Attorney Christian Menefee has said in a statement in part, quote, "I'm glad to see that a Harris County court blocked enforcement of a pre-Roe anti-abortion law that has been on the books since the 1920s. It's shameful that Attorney General Ken Paxton would be encouraging prosecutors to go after medical providers under laws that are clearly no longer enforceable." Paxton has already said that he will fight back legally. Tragedy in San Antonio. The death toll in an apparent human smuggling case has now risen to 50. Police found the victims in the back of a semi-truck last night. This afternoon, Homeland Security is taking over the investigation, and our Marcelino Benito is in the Alamo City with the latest.
Sherman, that death toll has climbed. What started as 46 dead last night has now jumped up to 50. First responders found the bodies of 50 migrants dead inside that 18-wheeler trailer. When they opened those doors, the bodies were stacked one on top of another. Early this morning, just before 6:30, investigators towed that 18-wheeler away. It is now evidence in Homeland Security's suspected human smuggling investigation. San Antonio PD tells us it was a worker nearby who called 911 yesterday afternoon after hearing a faint cry for help coming from the trailer. When he approached the 18-wheeler, he spotted a dead body just outside. When he looked inside, he made the gruesome discovery. A business owner nearby watched as paramedics pulled body after body out of the truck.
I feel so sad and it's just emotional.
The deceased include men and women, but fortunately no children. Alongside the dead were also 16 survivors, including 4 children. All of them rushed to hospitals with heat-related injuries. It's not clear how long these migrants were trapped in that trailer, but yesterday temps reached triple digits in the San Antonio area.
The patients that we saw were hot to the touch. They were suffering from heat stroke, heat exhaustion, no signs of water in the vehicle. It was a refrigerated tractor trailer, but there was no visible working AC unit on that rig. We're not supposed to open up a truck and see stacks of bodies in there. None of us come to work imagining that.
The fire chief here tells me everyone who responded is or will undergo behavioral health assessments due to the nature of what they witnessed last night. And late this morning, search dogs were back out at the scene just to make sure there aren't still migrants who escaped the truck needing help in the woods. This investigation now in the hands of Homeland Security. We're told 3 people are in custody, but their connection to this incident still remains unclear. The mayor here in San Antonio calling this a horrific human tragedy. We're reporting in San Antonio. I'm Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Marcelino. We will be updating this story as more information comes in, both on air and online at KHOU.com. Now take a look at this. Intense lightning from last night over the Clear Lake area in Galveston. And check out this shot from Tiki Island. All this thanks to our partners at Saltwater Recon for these videos. And while they're beautiful and dramatic images, lightning, of course, can be very dangerous. A League City family's home went up in flames after lightning sparked a fire. Thankfully, everybody's okay, but the home is badly damaged. Our Ugochi Iloka has been there all morning long and brings us now the latest.
We spent most of the morning talking to neighbors as well as the homeowner whose house was struck by lightning, causing his home to burst into flames. Now, that homeowner says he was able to rush his wife as well as 2 kids and pets out of the house, so they were all safe, which is such a relief. No one, however, wanted to talk to us on camera, but we did capture neighbors banding together to help one of their own who lost so much. Even though the house was extremely damaged, crews did save some of the family's personal items, and neighbors were seen helping the family gather what was left later on. Now, firefighters were called out to this home on Modeste Drive in the Victoria Lake subdivision after storms moved through League City late last night. Now, the League City fire chief says this 2-story house was struck by lightning as that bolt worked its way through the home structure, and it sparked multiple fires in different parts of the house. At one point, firefighters said they had to bring in outside water with the help of 7 agencies when the fire hydrant broke off and lost water supply.
After we got water reestablished, I sent crews back in. The fire was progressing, and from the lightning strike, I think it caused fires in different areas of the structure.
And many neighbors we spoke to off camera say they were not happy that the fire hydrant broke off as fire crews were battling the blaze. Now, the League City Public Works Department says they are investigating what caused it. Reporting from League City, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
All right, let's take a step outside with a live look over the skyline. Kind of hazy today, a lot calmer than it was last night. Meteorologist Tim Panday just joining us. So what can we expect today, Tim?
You know, more shower and thunderstorm chances, although those chances are really along the coastline. Now, radar now, this lunch hour, there's nothing going on out there. We're not tracking anything. But off to the south, you can see it moving over the last couple of hours. A few showers and storms drifting off to the southwest. And the broader picture does show an area of low pressure. You can see that spin in the atmosphere, and that's what we're going to keep a close eye on for potential tropical development. And as that drops to the southwest of us, and then it takes a turn north, passing inland to our west, keeping us on the wet side of things as we head in a late week, and that could really boost our rain chances and rain totals overall across the region. For this afternoon and into the evening hours, we'll see temperatures in the low to mid 90s, still a warm, humid day out there. It's 92 already with dew points in the upper 60s. It does feel like it is 96 at the moment. We do have winds out of the northeast, so that weak boundary just dropped to our south, just didn't deliver much in the way of cooler air, and that was expected. We weren't expecting temperatures to really drop off much at all. 86 at Brenham, 88 at Conroe, 91 Sugar Land, 90 in El Campo, officially at Bush. It is 92. Now for this afternoon, we'll get temperatures a little bit warmer into the 93 range at Houston, 95 in Sugar Land. There could be a few isolated afternoon, evening storms, again, mostly well south of I-10, straddling the coastline. Now what's going on? We've got that area of low pressure sitting over the open Gulf of Mexico, and as we go through time, really the next 24 hours is that window of opportunity for it to start to establish itself and organize things as it takes advantage of the very conducive environment it's currently over. Very warm sea surface surface temperatures in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Now, as we get into tomorrow, it's still sitting offshore, starts to organize, builds inland near Corpus Christi, and with that surge of moisture northwards as it passes to our west, we'll likely see a stream of heavy rain developing off the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll really push our rainfall totals up. Here's how it looks from the Hurricane Center right now. Chances of development boosted a little bit, actually. Up to 30% chance now within the next 2 days. Also 30% chance within the next 5. Rain chances, as a result, will be the highest later in the week after that moves inland and drifts north. 60% chance on Thursday, again on Friday, and even in the first half of the long holiday weekend. Looking at rain chances close to 50%. So let's take you through time here on Future Track, showing you the chance for a few isolated showers or storms, mainly along the coast as we head towards the later part of the day today. Quiet for the most part overnight, and then tomorrow starting to see some of those tropical bands lift northwards and give us an increased threat of some showers and thunderstorms, 30 to 40% chance. And then into Thursday, even more of that setting on up. And watch as we go through Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, that fire hose of moisture setting on up coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. That can stray 50 miles east or west, and that will set us up for different rainfall totals. But generally, we're looking at 3, 4, 5 inches of rainfall here by the time the weekend rolls around, right over the heart of Harris County, down to Galveston, into Brazoria, Fort Bend, all areas dealing with extreme drought conditions. So this will be beneficial, but with it being tropical downpours, flooding could also be a potential. I know we've been very, very dry, but all of that rain at once can overwhelm those drainage basins. We've got that 30% chance here in the Gulf, 95 L's where it's been tagged. We've got 2 other systems, another tropical wave and PTC number 2, potential tropical cyclone number 2. And this is trying to get its act together. It's got tropical storm force winds, but no closed low just yet. Hurricane hunters were out in the storm earlier today, still cannot find that closed center of circulation. But the track going forward, expected to become Bonnie, the next named system, and then potentially a Category 1 hurricane by this weekend as it strikes Nicaragua in Central America. So no threat to Texas at all. 7-day forecast does have the rain chances in there through the rest of the week into at least the first half of the long holiday weekend. By 4th of July, though, things are looking better. Hot, humid, only a 20% chance of an isolated shower or storm.
Thanks, Tim. And now is a good time to download our Hurricane Preparedness Guide. Point your phone to the screen to download it from our app, or go to khou.com/hurricane to make sure you are prepared for this hurricane season. In other top stories, former Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson meeting with NFL investigators today for a hearing that could determine whether he suits up this season or ever again. ESPN reporting that a league disciplinary officer will listen to both sides to determine if Watson violated the league's conduct policy. Just yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against the Texans claiming that the team enabled his alleged inappropriate behavior by setting him up with a hotel room, providing a massage table, and non-disclosure agreements for his private massage sessions. He's been accused of sexual misconduct by 24 women. This lawsuit follows Watson's decision to settle 20 of those 24 civil suits filed against him. Airbnb is shutting down the party. Today, the home-sharing company announced a global ban on parties that follows a temporary restriction put into place 2 years ago. Airbnb says that guests who violate those rules could get their accounts suspended or be removed from the platform. Earlier this month, a man was shot and killed at an Airbnb party in downtown Houston. And this week, the Justice Department will start a probe into the Uvalde school massacre. The Critical Incident Review Team will make its first on-site visit to Robb Elementary. Law enforcement has come under tremendous criticism for waiting 30 minutes to an hour in the school hallway after getting ballistic shields and weapons before going in after the gunman. Meanwhile, HEB and the Butt family has announced they will commit $10 million to help build a new elementary school in Uvalde. And in the ongoing effort to get to the truth about what really happened inside Robb Elementary on May 24th, KHOU 11 has joined our parent company, Tegna, and a coalition of other local and national media to work together to get answers. Today, the Media Coalition sent a letter to Don McLaughlin, the mayor of Uvalde, to offer our support for the people of the city in their search for answers. The coalition's efforts are to help us all understand what happened, what we can learn from it, so that it does not happen again. As always, KHOU 11 is committed to finding the truth, and we will be open and transparent with you in our process and what we find. A copy of that letter is posted right now on KHOU.com. And we are taking a live look now at the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot. This is in D.C. The panel says it has received new evidence. Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows set to testify as well. We will have continuing coverage on air and on KHOU.com. Thank you for joining us for this digital version of 11 News at Noon. We'll be right back here on air for the 411. Take care.
Responded something to the effect of, we're going to the Capitol.